The longer I've waited, the more that I've tried. All the years that I've wasted trying to find all that I go through for my peace of mind. Let it all go out the wind. Smoke in my eyes. I can hear the wind chiming. It's always been you in the back of my mind. Early blue morning, when everything's cold, I see you running, all covered in gold. There's nothing else that eases my soul. I let it all go out the window. No smoke in my eyes. I can hear the wind chiming. It's always been you in the back of my mind. When there are others, to routine, I dance all alone then, try to be seen. Then there's a feeling, you know what I mean. I let it all go out the window.
sometimes oceans apart. Gotta learn just how to move on
Regardez les numéros des
without
places.
you. Move on without you. We had our on and offs, baby. Sometimes we were tight, and sometimes everything but. Gotta learn just how to forget about you. Forget about you. When you call me up and sound so sweet, there's nothing to blame. But when you don't pick up for days on end, I see my mistake. I'm out of patience. Come out and say that it's over now, so I can stop chasing. Hey you, I know this is the right way. You move me in the right way, and I'll be running, running to you. Hey you, I think we're in the right place. Keep thinking of the things you said. Now my wishes turned out to be true. Oh, tonight, tonight, I've got your hand in mine, and I won't let you go this time. And
Voilà. Super.
just wanna keep this night forever alive. Hey you, you're moving me the right way. Am I dreaming this? It's so unreal. There you are. Never thought this could be. Hey you, the stars are falling into place. You make my heart go insane. Now I'm running, running home to you. Oh, tonight, tonight, I've got your hand in mine, and I won't let you go this time. And I just wanna keep this
Et donc, ils enlèvent, ils nettoient les bassins de décantation et ils...
frotte les mains ensemble. Hop, vas-y. Ouais. Voilà. Essaye de ne pas avoir trop de... Voilà, allez, vas-y. Très bien. Est-ce que tu as... Voilà, tiens. On pose au milieu. Voilà, parfait. Tout doucement comme ça, avec tes petits doigts. Voilà, tu poses. Voilà, c'est super. Et après, ça va être... Magnifique.
Au-dessus. Alors tu appliques le dessus. Et là, on est sur la fin. Mais je te laisse déjà sur le police. C'est là.
Et celui-là, pour l'instant, c'est pour les enfants. Et les enfants, Salvador, est-ce que tu connais cet instrument? Oui, c'est un instrument de musique. Un didgeridoo, c'est parti. D'applaudissements pour le public merveilleux. Et pour ça, tu as fait des ateliers. Et aussi, et pour ça, tu fais visiter le musée.
Allez, j'arrête de te dire.
On a amené chacun une petite temps aussi pour les enfants. Hein. Merci à toi. Je confirme
C'est pas chaud.
Comme ça, c'est bon.
C'est trop beau.
Le jardin de l'État.
'cause I was scared of it all. And isn't it glorious how love gets the best of us? Yeah, I got feelings, but I'm a tough one sometimes. Please move close to me. You love differently, so move close to me. Love me differently, please. Move close to me. You love differently, so move close to me. Love me differently.
Oui. Vous l'accompagnez? Oui.
Nobody else was there to stop us. Nobody else was there to warn us. No, we go on and on with this one love song we've been working on far too long, baby. Do you still remember when our hearts tuned up spontaneously? On and on like a marathon, we keep running from fighting for something to remind us that we're better than this poor love song. Too busy watching the TV.